everybody, it's the Redstone Wizard here again, bringing you another Redstone tutorial. This time, what I got for you is a fully automatic bone meal farm that is also completely tileable based around your simulation distance. But let's take a look at what I've got. Alright, so here's the machine itself. And I ran this for an hour and I almost filled up three shulker boxes. So we're looking roughly about 5,000 items, 5,000 pieces of bone meal per hour. Yeah, and it's pretty fast. So let's just turn it on real fast. Yeah, it does. The first time, depending on where it's at, it might take a while to process. But once it starts, watch how fast this goes. It breaks. It's breaking as much of them as possible. Leaves maybe a couple of them before it bone meals again. But it keeps going. And as you can see, now we're getting a constant flow of bone meal. Because they were getting composted, it refills itself first before it starts passing it off into the storage. So once all these hoppers underneath are full, and then it will take and process the rest, and then there we go. Now I just have it dropping into a hopper here just to collect. So, but like I said, it processes it pretty fast. So, and when you want to stop it, it will stop and process whatever items are actually left. It's not worried about the bone meal or anything. So, let's take a look at the system for the creation of the stone. Now this is actually inspired by Ilmango, so it's pretty proficient. And it's been modified to make it work pretty well. I've done a little changes, but it's still the same machine. Alright. Yeah, the only difference is that we have to stagger them, at least from here back. We'll have to stagger it, and there's ways to do it, and I'll show you guys how to do it. But if I flip this lever, and I'm going to take out 3 blocks. If I flip this lever, we get pushing of 2. And if I can just angle this just right, there we go. 1, 2, gone. And that command block is just to get rid of anything there, just to continue the push limit. So, with approximately 5,000 bone meal per hour, what do you guys say? Let's get to building this thing. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and this is and everything we need to build the 5,000 bone meal per hour moss farm is in my inventory. So let's take a look at what we got. Okay, what we're going to need is hoppers and composters to be able to put them into the hoppers to put them in the composters turn in bone meal, then hoppers to put them in droppers to put them into a water stream. Comparators, solid blocks, redstone torches, repeaters, redstone dust, observers. You actually just need one sticky piston, pistons, target blocks, water, a bunch of water buckets, a bunch of lava buckets, one slime block, some powered rails I recommend, but these are more redstone activated devices that the observer can detect. Some movable blocks, but some of them you have to have where you can place redstone on, so I recommend like obsidian or crying obsidian. A lever, dispensers, some packed ice, and something to stop water so you can continue an ice stream. And then also I did forget a piece of soul sand. And of course, just because we just want a chest to hold items. So let's get started. Okay, so we got a block. So pick your spot, and I'm going to select this one right here. And the first thing we're going to do is I am going to take my regular pistons and my obsidian. I'm going to go down one, put my rail, my piston, and I'm only going to do 2 of them just to make it easy. Because you repeat this pattern over and over and you make them 15 wide. Then we'll take our dust, our observers, our repeaters, our target block, bucket of water. Okay, we'll put dust right onto those. We'll place an observer here and here. On one of them, we'll place a solid block. On the other, and then next to the solid block, we're going to place 2 blocks. We're going to put a repeater on 4 ticks on both of them, a solid block in front of both of them, a target block on both of those repeaters, dust on the blocks behind, powered by the repeaters, a regular piston on top of the target blocks. We're going to fill this in for control. We're going to cover up all of these spots here to prevent water from going out. And I'm just going to fill this in here. On top of this dust, we're going to place our removable blocks. These ones don't have to be obsidian, but they do have to be immovable. Take our water source, place it right on the pistons. And if you feel so inclined, because it's going to be so much easier on you, and this is just a personal recommendation, just fill that in like that. And we're just going to cover up all of this. And we are going to place lava. We could just place lava right there. Now, what's going to happen is, let me get my lever out. If I give this thing a quick pulse, the the stone gets pushed up, and then we get stone there. If you feel like it, you could put lava everywhere. So let me take these down. And now, on this line right here, we're just going to place pistons. We're going to put solid blocks there. And we're going to grab our observers. And we're going to place them right behind the the blocks with the pistons. And then we're going to put dust behind those. So, let me get my lever and put it on the back. Let me pop back over to this side. Put the lever here. I activate it. That pushes it out. I activate that. That pushes that out. Okay. So now we need to add the next set. These ones will never be processing. So, what we're going to do is take our blocks, put 3 down, put a piston here and here, get stone just because it's so much easier, and we're just going to fill this in, leaving that empty, and we're going to take our pistons and put them down one way from there. Surround this like we did with the other ones. I'm going to hold off on that. So then we're going to, again, waterlog these. You don't need it there. I could just put 1 bucket of lava. Cover that. And now, time for the redstone. First off, we need to put some obsidian here to prevent it from moving. Preventing it from extending and breaking. So now this will push the obsidian down. Next, we're going to need our observers. So we're going to place an observer on top of each one of these with a piece of obsidian or your removable block there. Then we're going to place 2 more observers, a solid block behind the one that's extended. We can get rid of that, place those there. And now if we were to activate this, let me push this out. Activate it again. Push it out. We're getting nothing but stone, which is what we want. So what's going to happen next is we're going to, let me get this 15 wide total, and I will be right back and to explain the next part. Alright guys, I'm back and I've got it 15 wide. So, now, what we need to do is figure out the, we need to do the maximum distance. And honestly, the easiest way to do that is to set up for the automated portion of that, the brain that controls the entire circuitry. So what you need to do is place a block here, here, and here. Grab yourself a repeater and put them all on those blocks that we just put. And this one, 2 ticks. If I 2 ticks. Let's go take a look if I remember right. No, 3 ticks. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, this one goes to 3 ticks. And we're going to put a target block behind that. Here, we're going to put a block behind that and a block going towards the way that the stone is going to be moved. Here, we're going to put a block here and here. And we're going to place a 2-tick repeater here with a solid block on that. Starting here, we're going to place a rail or any other redstone activated block. An observer. I am just going to go down here and place a rail on top of that. Same thing with an observer. A solid block. An observer with an observer going up. Another rail. Observer. And a redstone torch on the observer. That will power that. And now we're just going to run a line all the way there. And run dust all the way across. Now, if we throw a 2-tick repeater here, I'm going to place a block. And I'm going to grab my lever. And if we activate it, it's going to push 2 out every single time. So we're just going to max out the distance till it can't push anymore, which is right there. Oh, nope, we still can. Alright. So, with it being at max distance now, I'm going to turn that off. What we're going to do is mark it 1 short. Now, if you want to, you can just take out all these blocks, all of them. I just recommend at least that row right there. And this is just for efficiency purposes only. If you don't mind losing some of the moss blocks and whatnot, you don't have to do this. Well, actually, you would only lose moss blocks with this. So just come under here and put nothing but solid, put some type of block. And it has to be either a slab or a solid block. And what I mean by solid is not, it doesn't have to be redstone conductive. It just has to be solid. So you can use slime blocks if you feel like it. Honey blocks. Anything that actually is solid. So just for the sides of this, I'm actually just going to use some glass because I think it looks better. And I'm just going to cover up a lot of that. And right along here, one past, we're going to put that and go up 2. And we're going to just fill that in, both sides. One past. Fill it in. And I'm filling it in one extra because I do like the appearance of it. Now, this is where this is how you decide. Do you just want to put the hoppers here, or do you want them to fall? If you want to do like a other type of collection system, it doesn't matter really. You can actually just throw your hoppers there and your composters here, which I'll just place all my 15 composters for this side. There we go. And there we go. And now we need to, I'm just going to put some water here I'm just going to block this off because I'm going to put some water. But it's going to be 3 blocks. But this is just so that you know. So we'll go out all the way, we'll place a solid block all the way there. So 1, 2, 3. We'll fill this in for... just because. You don't have to fill all of it in. You don't have to fill those in. But these ones have to get filled in. And that has to get filled in. And we could take out this and take out this for our walls. We'll grab our pistons. If you want to, you can create a water trough here. I'm just going to place them there and waterlog all of them. Now, for those that don't know, when a piston is extended, it does not produce. It does not. When a waterlogged piston is extended, the head will destroy any water source that it's in, but the body will not. So that's why we're doing that. And I'm just going to set that there because I like the look of it being solid like that. We're going to put dust on top and come back down to this other side. This has to be a solid block, and we will grab a torch. And we will throw a torch here, which now will turn off all the water. So now we've got our stone generation in a quite rapid manner. We've got our item pushing, which is actually really good. And now we need to get our changer. So going from one corner, it doesn't matter which corner, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the fourth one. 1, 2, 3 to the fourth one. We're going to place it there. And then we're going to count over 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is actually right in the middle of all of it. Now, the one thing I did forget to put in this, which I can't believe I did, is a moss block. We need a moss block for all of this. So we're going to place our moss blocks. We're going to grab our... Oh, we're actually going to need more than just one sticky piston. We're going to grab our dispensers. Dispensers can remain empty for this entire thing. It doesn't matter. Then we are going to place an observer going towards the dispenser. We can place it right on top of the moss block. A dropper going down into the dispenser. And a hopper going into the dropper. And then we're going to put a temporary block here. In fact, we can even just do this. Make a line of, and right above, break them out. And we're going to put our sticky pistons right here. And then after that, make sure they're going down. We're going to throw some, I'm going to line this up to there. We're going to throw dust on top of all of it. Well, going to there. And that's our, and we're going to throw a 2-tick repeater on that. So now, just so that we can pick up that observer, we're just going to do that. Now, if you are running your ice stream and you're going to run it at the very end here, you can replace this with a slab and the items will run all the way under here. In fact, let's grab our ice path, and I'm going to run it all the way under there and run this all the way back here, and I'm going to place some slabs here, and I'm just going to use glass for this because I like the look. And there. Okay, so now we've got this. So next is we rebuild all of this mirrored over here. Hopefully I give myself enough room. Maybe not. I'll get this moved so that I'm not cramming that. So, but yeah. Let me get the other side built real fast and then I'll be right back. Alright guys. I'm back. I did have to move it. And I did get the other one built. So, now what we're going to do is put in the control circuitry, or the brain as I would like to call it. And let me throw a torch here because I forgot to put it. So, what we're going to do is go to the left side and we're going to count over 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3, place a block and a block over and 2 blocks over. We're going to go down and put a 4-pointer on that. We can bust that one out. In fact, actually, we need to put a block up there and move it one more over. 4-pointer right here. Alright, and now all we need to do is run this all the way across here. We'll have to drop it down. That's fine. Put 2 dust on these. Dust on these. Put an observer. Break. You don't need that block, and it's block in front of that. Same thing on this side. We'll run this here. That's just so I know where it's at. Observer. Boom. This is what gives it the speed, is those observers. Okay, so now what we need to do is put in the clock. So we're going to make a square, leaving an open block in the corner, these 2 corners. We're going to place them, and we're going to take 3-tick repeaters and just circle them around. And we're going to stick an observer with a slime block on top. Here, we're going to put a 1-tick repeater. Here, we're going to throw dust. We're going to take temporary blocks, 2, put 1 up, break these 2, and underneath this block, we're going to throw a sticky piston with a lever on the block. Leave it. And now, what we need to do is take a torch, put it on here, a block on the top of the torch, a block to the left, 2, 3, 2 with a block up, a block over, and a block up. And then what we're going to do here is actually just take this and connect it all the way to there on both sides. So run it along the glass here and run dust. Now, you don't have to be running... No, that doesn't get dust. And now we are going to take a repeater. 1 tick. Leave it there. Dust here. Dust here. Dust here. Comparator here. Comparator here. Now that's going to keep it constantly filled with water while it is not being used. In fact, actually, I need to place that with a slab so that items can go past that. Same thing with this one. There we go. Yeah. So that's that part. And now we're going to take a block, put it up over here, and a block over. Now we're going to throw a 4-tick repeater right here. A block up. One on... Actually, no, we got this in the wrong spot. We are going to take and put it here with the block and a 4-tick repeater here. Now, from here, we're going to add 5 more blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. And we're going to fill this in. We can knock that one out. And we are going to fill those in. Put a block here and here. Block up there. And we're going to replace this with a non-solid block because we're using a sticky piston under there. Bam. With a, we need an observer. A redstone torch here. Block all of these. We need that block there. Grab dust, put it all here, and put it all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to add one more. Add a target block to this point, and we'll throw in repeaters. 1 tick here. Here, leaving this one open for now. Grab some type of power source, power it, place a repeater, break it. Now we have our clock, which will control the entire circuitry once we flip that lever. After we get the last part connected. So what we need to do is run a line here. And because I'm not going to have these connected, I am going to instead run a little higher than I normally would. And dust all of that. And now we've got the counter. So every time the clock passes, it's going to pulse and hold it for a certain amount of time. Now, we're going to fill this in, and we're going to put dust on at least these parts. Pick one, put a dust. And put a solid block in between those two. Temporary block for an observer going up. A sticky piston pushing that observer underneath. And here, on this repeater, we're just going to pillar up all the way till we get there. I'm just going to throw that there to be able to redirect this and connect it all. So now, other than putting in your collection system, your pull system for the composters, or just throwing in regular or just an ice stream there, you can do that. And if you just want to collect the items, I do recommend just using fence gates because they work out great for what this needs to do. So let's turn it on. And as soon as because it's going to take a moment to process. As soon as it processes it, bam, clears the water out, pushes all of it into the hoppers. And yes, you're going to get, like, you might get one or two still stuck in there for a while. But yeah, and with it the way it is, you might actually even, some of them might just stay right behind. Right, yeah. I do recommend just putting fence gates here, hoppers there, then the composters. But you can do it that way if you don't mind the little bit of loss. I don't like the loss. I like to be able to have it all. So now that it's stopped, I can just go bam, bam. And I'm just using these because of one reason and one reason only. I can open them. And they are treated as if they are not even there for the purposes of items, but for the purposes of the or push limit, it counts. And we don't have to, and if they break and get pushed, they will go right into whatever collection system we want for this. If you just want to collect the moss stuff and bone meal, what you don't want, that's fine. If you just want the straight bone meal, you can do that. Compost it. And then all you have to do is just align them up to one of these. Putting them just on the edge of this ice stream from under here. So ice stream, bubble vader, bam, line them up. However you do it's up to you, but you need to line it up and then run it down, and then you continue running it down one side and then you flip it back and run it down to the other. So let's bust these out. And I'm just going to say I'm collecting the moss itself. And it will work the exact same way. Which means I'm only doing certain parts. But yeah. But as you can see, it's still pushing them out. But then, so now comes the next part. How do we expand it further? That right there is probably the easiest part. You rebuild from here, from the edge, from the whole stone generator, right here. You can utilize this as a divider in between them and add another one. So this is 16 and this is 0, which means when you place them, when you activate the next side, you place a repeater there, come down to the bottom, place a block, repeater there, and over here, repeater. And then you just add another set. And here it's the same thing. Repeater here. And then you just continue going. Which would be the redstone all the way until you get to the piston and then repeat. This is a repeatable design. So if you just want one, you can have one. If you want 7, you can have 7. It's all up to you. It's how big ever you want to make it. And it is possible to stack them up. And have them just line up so that they all fall into one area if you really want to. You're just going to have to. And you can actually stack them where this obsidian is that obsidian too. So, whew. I hope you guys enjoy your 5,000 piece bone meal moss farm. It took me 2 days to get it because the first design didn't work out properly, but with a few modifications it did. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down in the comments section. If it's a major issue, I do recommend joining my Discord. The world download for this will be in my Discord, so if you want it, you have to go there. And if you guys want to support me, you can subscribe or join my Patreon. Link to that will be in the description. But you guys, this is the Redstone Wizard. Enjoy building.